So in today's video, we are going to look at the London session and New York session and how we can take trades during New York on what London tells us. So what we look for today, we want to look for either the London high or the London low to be taken out and look for a reversal, or we are going to look for a continuation. So if this is London, and New York starts, the one trading setup we're going to look for is during New York, we need to take the London high or the London low. We're going to wait for a fair value gap to form after the highs or the lows are taken. And then we are going to enter our trade right over here and continue downwards. Same for when we go to a opposite direction. If the lows are taken during New York, we are going to wait for the lows to be taken out from London and then a reversal during New York. So that's the first option we are going to look at. Liquidity swept either the highs or a low and reversal, and the next one is going to be where we're going to have our price. London, for example, is pushing down. New York has started. And then we have a continuation and vice versa to the upside. So we are going to wait for what London is telling us to see what's going to happen in the New York session. So let's get straight to the charts and we can have a look on what's happening. All right, so the first thing you want to do, you want to go to indicators and you want to add the Flux Charts Price Action Toolkit. This one is a paid indicator. This one helps you a lot by canceling out all the noise, the price action toolkit. So basically, it's an all in one indicator that has fair value gaps, inversions, order blocks, breaker blocks, trend lines, liquidity grabs, session times. It's lit buy side, sell side liquidity, premium and discount, your daily, weekly, monthly pre market openers, everything that you need in a price action toolkit on how to trade like ICT and combine it with your own style, all in one indicator. Link is in the description. Go check out Flux Charts Price Action Toolkit. All right, so let's get straight to the video. So for this one, I enabled the fair value gaps. These are the settings, and I also enabled the session times for London and New York. So these are the two settings that I'm running on this indicator. So let's have a look right over here. So this is going to be London. So you can see London had a push up. It came down after it took liquidity right over here, left fair value gaps. So for me, you can clearly see right over here, this is going to have, it's a clear indication that price is pushing down because the price is leaving a bunch of fair value gaps. And that's an indication for me that price is pushing down and price will most likely continue lower and target this level of liquidity. So this is the benefit of hindsight. So what I want to do, just to take step by step through, let's rewind. So here you can see the indicator has formed during London a bunch of fair value gaps to the downside. We have a few fair value gaps here that needs to be filled. So we are going to wait for London to finish. And as soon as it finishes, we wait for New York to start. Here you can see New York's AM session has started. We already took the liquidity right over here from London. But I am anticipating, because of this big push down, we are going to have a continuation targeting these lows right over here, these fair value gaps right over here. So as soon as we get our entry confirmation, what we always use in all of the other videos is going to be the liquidity sweep, market structure shift, fair value gap entry. So let's see what happens here. We are inside of a fair value gap. We have internal liquidity that's being taken right over there. We want this low to be taken out as a confirmation that we're going to um, continue lower. If we starting breaking to the upside and price leaves fair value gaps to the upside, then I will target the upside direction. So let's play price forward and see what happens. There we go. We had a big push of liquidity right over here. As you can see, all of these buy side liquidity has been taken. Huge wick to the downside. We are leaving our very first fair value gaps. As you can see, we are currently at this low. So our market structure shift actually changed from this low to this one. Why? Because this low right over here is the one that took out this high, this fractal low. So we had our market structure shift. We left actually a nice fair value gap right over there. So if we just play price forward, you can see there's our fair value gap. And this is where I would take my entry, literally. So candle 1, 2, 3. So I would take my entry on that candle as soon as this fair value gap formed, and I will put it on the highs of the bodies of the first candle. And then you can target, you have a nice liquidity pool resting down here and there, or you can just target a nice 1 or 2 risk to reward. And let's see how price plays out. And there you go. As you can see, price played out perfectly right over there. So let's look at one more scenario. So let's play price forward to the next day. All right, so here you can see this is London. Are we leaving a bunch of fair value gaps in London session? You can see we are clearly in an uptrend. When we zoom out, you can see we are in this phase. This phase is done. And we started with a new phase to the upside. There's liquidity resting above this New York session and London session. So currently this London session is pushing up. Let's see what happens when New York starts. So New York is starting. Bunch of fair value gaps. Let's just wait for the open to see what happens. That's going to be at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So there's the open now. So if we get a fair value gaps pushing to the upside, we are going to take a continuation. Or if we are going to get our market structure shift right over here, and we have a bunch of fair value gaps like red fair value gaps that's pushing down, then it's an indication that we all go down. But alternatively, what we want is if we continue this to be a sweep, and then this to be taken out to continue up, and vice versa for a sell trade. We want this to be swept. What happened if we are looking at a sell scenario, and we want this one to be broken as the market structure shift. So let's see what happens. So we had a sweep over here. This one hasn't been taken yet. Did we leave a fair value gap right over here? As you can see, nice small fair value gap there. So you can take your entry right over here, stops below this first candle's low, and you can target a 1 or 2 risk to reward trade. And let's see how it plays out. And we get stopped out. So that's one losing trade right over there. So now we're pushing in deeper into this fair value gap right over here. So this I'm moving down. So let's see what happens. We haven't taken that one. So I'm still in a buy scenario right over here. There we left our fair value gap, as you can see. Stops right, entry right over there, stops right over there. And then you can target a 1 or 2 risk to reward trade. And let's see what happens. And there you can see clearly we had that big push up. If you hold it, that's a nice 6 risk to reward trade, 1 losing trade, 1 winning trade. And then we had our sweep. We had our market structure shift right over here. Let's just delete this quickly. With this candle, as you can see, we broke through there. As you can clearly see there, we left our fair value gap. We took liquidity there and here, like you can see, inside of a fair value gap, a bullish fair value gap, and then we went up. So let's look at one more day. Let's play price forward. All right, so here you can see now this London session is a lot of consolidation. Before New York, we took the lows and the highs of London. So let's see what happens when New York starts. We are waiting for the 9:30 open Eastern Standard Time right over there. So let's see what happens. Just before opening, we had that liquidity sweep right over there. We are creating fair value gaps. There's our open. And now we wait for our entries. So let's have a look if we find one. So we have this one right over here as a target and that one there as a target there on top. So let's see what happens. Keep pushing down, we're creating fair value gaps. After New York open, looks like we want to push down fair value gaps. So now we're just waiting for some sort of liquidity sweep to happen. So here you can see we had a liquidity sweep happening there. We had a market structure shift happening here. And if we continue down, we are waiting for a fair value gap. Now we're pushing up. No fair value gaps is being formed. So this will be my new liquidity pool. Busy taking it. This will be my last fractal low. This one here, sorry. Let's see what happens. Now this is my new fractal low. Candle on the left and right is higher. Inside of this fair value gap, liquidity sweep inside of an order block and a fair value gap. So now we wait for a fair value gap down to continue down. Let's see if we get one. We had our market structure shift. No fair value gap yet. And we continue upwards into this one here. So for me, this was a day I probably wouldn't trade it. Why? Because this big push started happening before New York opened. So yes, and it's a little bit, for me, it's a little bit risky if both of these sides are being taken before New York as well, and then we weren't completely sure what's going to happen. If you saw it a little bit earlier, trading before New York open, you could have taken this liquidity sweep here, market structure shift, fair value gap, and caught this move down. But I don't like to get into the entries before market open. So yes, nice and easy. So let's quickly just recap. We have our London session, we have our New York session. We wait for price to either take a sweep or a continuation where you look for your pattern. So if you have this option 1, entry model 1, wait for a sweep to continue up. Inside of this sweep, we need to take the liquidity, we need to have a market structure shift, and we need to have a fair value gap for us to enter in the opposite direction for a continuation, we want price, if price is doing this, New York open, we want this, this, and then this. So if New York opens, we want a liquidity sweep, a market structure shift on the continuation, and also a fair value gap to enter our trades. All right. So I hope this video helps. Link it in the description. Go check out Flux Charts, the price action toolkit. Go through their website. They have some awesome educational stuff on each indicator as well. Go have a look, and then I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.